I was weeping. This show made me cry. Thinking about it now, I want to cry. Hi people, welcome back. If it's your first time, my name is Talia Adewale and this is DISBYDEM. Today we're talking about Oh No, Here Comes Trouble, which is a Taiwanese drama that blends supernatural elements of humor and emotional depth. Sure to hit that like button. Leave your comments. Please let me know if you watch this show because, woo, let me know. And subscribe and let's just get into it. So the story follows Pu Yiyong, a young man who gains the ability to see and communicate with spirits after waking up from a coma. Armed with this ability, he becomes a sort of trouble remover. So I'm going to try not to spoil too much, but there will be spoilers, guys. There's no way I can talk about this with the passion and intensity that I want to without spoiling it. So just know. He kind of helps to remove the spirits, basically is what it is, obviously. But it wasn't oh, I have this power now, I can do this. There was a growth that had to come with it because he was dealing with a lot of shit that went down in his own life and sorting through, emerging romances and romances. So I kind of liked it. In the end, he helped the spirits resolve their lingering grudges or regrets to pass on peacefully. So that's kind of like the breakdown or the synopsis of what was going on. Now let's dive into the characters. So main character is Pu Yiyong. The actor is Peng Qianyou. Hopefully I'm saying these names right. Please guys, it took me a while to be able to even pronounce Korean names and I'm still not even able to do that. So now that we're starting on with Chinese and Taiwanese shows, it's back to square one. So have grace, please. He is the protagonist who gains the ability to see and communicate with spirits. And he survived after surviving this terrible accident. I tell you, I did actually start out doing reactions to this and then I got bored with the reaction part and I just wanted to finish it. I'm a binge watcher, which is why reacting to series is really hard for me most of the time. I know I don't think I've ever said this, but it's extremely difficult for me because then I have to pace myself and I ain't got no time for pacing, guys. I want to watch it. I want to finish it. I want to move on because there's so many other shows to watch. So I did do up to, I think, episode 3. I reacted up to episode 3 and then I was just like, nah, I can't do this anymore. Anywho, he just survived this terrible accident and by the end of episode 1, I was weeping. This show made me cry. Thinking about it now, I want to cry. It will break your heart like in the worst and best ways. And I don't know if a lot of you watched my Goblin. Sorry, this is a tangent, but it helps tie things into, this review. But if you watch my Goblin review and that last episode and the way episode 16 broke me, and throughout the episodes, in fact, the entire season broke me, is because anything that has to do with the potential or possibility of seeing your loved ones who have passed away, it always hits home with me. I'm just going to talk through the tears, guys. That's why Goblin was so impactful to me. That potential or possibility that you may actually get to see somebody that you love that has passed away. So I think that's why this show really also was hitting home for me because there was significant losses for him, Pu Yiyong, in the first episode alone. And they really do take away one of the most beloved characters. I mean, we've only met the person for like 5 minutes, but they were such a lovable person that when it happened and they died, it kind of resonated with me. And then you go through each episode and you see these spirits that are tethered to the world and what they represent for each person that has, created them through some kind of obsession or whatever it is in the world. And it just breaks your heart. It really does. Okay, going back. I know that was a long tangent. I'm so sorry. Going back to Pu Yiyong's character, he is quirky, sincere, and often comedic as he navigates his newfound responsibilities. He hands down... No, I think his mother was my favorite person, if I'm being honest. But I loved watching Yiyong. You could see who he was and see where he would end up. And he's so handsome. The actor is really handsome. I remember him from At the Moment. I think that's what it's called. It's like a culmination of it. It's a limited series on Netflix and a culmination of different stories strung together. And that's where a lot of the actors that were in this, I'd known them before. So I was very happy watching this and seeing all of them. He was perfect. He's such a great actor, and I will watch anything that he's in. Honestly, I'm not even kidding you. Anything that he is in, I am down for. He had great emoting throughout the whole thing. He played his character very well. You rooted for the character. You knew the character even without them actually saying anything about it. And the entire series, especially episode 1 and 2, they were giving Yu Yu Hakusho for me, which I absolutely loved. So even when Guanyan, who is the second guy that came into the story, would show up, I'll be like, Kuwabara! It wasn't exact. I think they took the concept of Yu Yu Hakusho and they spun it into something extremely beautiful for this show. And that's what I loved about it. So introducing Guanyan, who is played by Zeng Jinghua. Again, forgive me. He's Yiyong childhood frenemy. I won't call them friends and I won't call them enemies either. And I don't think Yiyong was guilty of the things that were happening to Guanyan in high school. I really don't. I swear to God, I can't prove it, but I don't think he was doing them. They're both a major source of support and skepticism because the bromance between them does begin, based on their previous history, but it kind of develops into something so beautiful and pure. I just loved it. Guanyan is grounded and rational, Guanyan is grounded and rational, often playing the role of skeptic who questions Yiyong's supernatural experiences. His relationship with Yiyong provides much of the emotional and comedic heart of the series, especially the emotional. I loved it. It's like Yiyong dealing with all these things that he's going through, with new powers, having lost somebody so dear to him, somebody else being on the brink of death as well, dealing with being in this coma for that long, trying to get his life back on track. It was just a lot for him, but having Guanyan there to parry with and just having that introduction brought back into his life, it did so well. The actors had such great chemistry with each other and they pinged off each other so seamlessly. I loved it. And then the last of the trio is Chen Chuying. She was also in At the Moment. I think that's what it's called. If I remember, I'll put a picture. But I think that's what it was called. I hated her character in that one. So when I saw her, I was like, I know you. You would think that she personally wronged me. But she's such a good actress. Even in that, she was a good actress. I just didn't like the person she was playing. Or rather, I liked the ex who she was playing, basically. She is played by Vivian Song. Like I said, absolutely fantastic actress. So she is the police officer in this who is kind of strung into it. She had initially had an encounter with Yiyong, in the past, and the events that happened during the season kind of brought them back together. She's also extremely young, which made me, because there was also kind of like a romance between them. It wasn't really a romance, but you could see the potential of there being a romance between them. So it made me wonder, even though they classified her as young, it made me wonder how old she might be. And I think maybe her age range would be between either 20 to 22. I did check to see what the age limit was to join the police force in Taiwan, and they said 18. So I'm guessing maybe at 18, 19, she had joined the police force, and now she's just trying to figure that out. So she is currently in the regular police, but feels like she had more to offer. She wanted to be a detective for as long as she could remember, and that's what she was striving towards. And then we have the various spirits. So they were, I think, all in all, I counted 7 spirits, 2 of which had nothing to do with the obsessions, but the obsessions that they really did lean into in this series were shame, anxiety, longing, loneliness. That one broke me. Longing broke me. I'm not even gonna lie. The loneliness, oh no, that one broke me. Sorrow and grief, envy and jealousy, and I think guilt and fear. I'm not trying to spoil it too much, but I will talk about loneliness because as soon as we see that story developing, we see the spirits, we see the person that is tethered to the spirits, and as soon as the episode was going through and they would say something, and I'll be like, they're lonely. That is why they are lonely. And that episode wrecked me. I was weeping like a child. Again, you guys know I'm a softie, especially when it comes to these shows. I was weeping like a baby. The obsessions, and they called them obsessions. I don't think that's the correct direct translation in the native language, but they did call them obsessions in the show, so that's what I'm calling them as well. I think the obsessions hit home. Loneliness wrecked me. The what's it called, shame and anxiety, I don't know if I would say it's shame and anxiety per se. I'm not really sure what his obsession was, but the first guy, oh no, I can't talk about it without crying. This show was done so well, and if none of what I'm saying makes sense to you, let me put it simply, guys. The show was a 10 out of 10 for me, from storyline to plotting to pacing to execution to acting to comedy to emotional depth. It was a 10 for me. They shut it down. Now, I know people are calling for like a sequel or a season 2, but I don't know that they should make one. I think it's a one and done kind of situation, and I think they should leave it as the perfection that it is. The only thing I think that wrecked it for me, not really, but I think the name. Yeah, so I think somebody just took the direct transliteration or translation of the Taiwanese word, either the Taiwanese Mandarin or, yeah, and gave it to us in a way that we could understand. But oh no, here comes trouble. I'm not really sure it suits the show. However, it doesn't take away from anything. I think maybe the name helped me actually start the show, because I was just looking for options to watch, and I was like, yeah, let's go to Taiwan. I've seen one thing from them and it has been fantastic, so why not? And they have not let me down so far. So if you haven't seen this, I 100% recommend that you watch it. And if you've watched it, let me know in the comment section what you liked and what you didn't. Let me know what you enjoyed, because I thought that they did a fantastic job. I will sing the praises of this show for as long as I can. And it's something that I would definitely rewatch at least one more time. It's very emotionally draining for me to watch it, but in like a cleansing way. Because even though it's fictional, honestly, it gives me hope that I may just be able to contact somebody that has passed away that I love very much, you know? And I think that's why I gravitate to shows like this, because it keeps that hope alive. Whether it comes through or not, it's like, oh, I can see a fictional person go through this and be happy on the end. So maybe, just maybe, in my own whatever bizarre world, it will happen for me too, you know? I know it's my process, guys. It's my process. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Be sure to leave your comments, like the video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!